Awesome.
Now, all yours.
Okay, yay. Hi, guys. It's so good to see your faces. I feel like we haven't had a team call in forever. I don't know if that's just how I feel, but yeah. So I'm excited, and we are going to talk all about social media, which is like the most frustrating beast in the world. But there are definite things that you can do in your social media on your platform to help you grow this business. And like, for those of you who don't have a lot of time or who don't have a big network of people that you know, like your warm market, so to speak, all those people in your life that you already have relationships with, like if they're not super supportive, social media is literally where you're going to build your business. Like that is where I've built my business. I know that's where Megan's built a huge part of her business as well. So I'm super stoked. So I'm just going to dive right in. The first thing, we're going to kind of be like hopping back and forth between us because we have a lot of good tips to share with you guys. But the first thing is that when it comes to social media, we really want you to treat it like your storefront. And I know you've heard that before, but tonight I want you to like literally take the metaphor for, as far as it can go in your mind. Like think of your social media platform and imagine it as your literal physical brick and mortar store. But the cool thing is you don't have to pay rent every single month because it's just through Instagram, and Instagram happens to be a free app. Someday it might not be a free app, but for now it's free. So we're going to take advantage of that. And I want you to think about, like, if you actually had this brick and mortar store, like what would you want it to feel like when people came into your store? Like, I know I would want mine to be really colorful because that represents like who I am. I would want it to have like some boho vibes. I'd want to have like some fruity lemon water, that people could try. I would want to maybe have some kind of like freebie or like little giveaway, like maybe probably not candy, but like something fun that I could like give them along with their little water, like maybe some coffee or something. So that is how you want to like portray your social media platform. Like that is how you want your page to look. Like every single time you want somebody's eyes on your page, like you want them to feel like they are a part of, or they're walking into your store and they're entering the doors to like Leanna's little boutique. And think about like, what do you want them to see? What do you want them to feel? Do you like, if you want to give them a freebie, maybe you can create like a silly little quiz about something that you know about. Like I know about health from coaching, and so I created a silly little quiz through Google Forms. It's the same thing that we create our apps like for our boot camps with. I created like a quiz of like, how healthy is your life, or like the healthy life quiz. So that's like a freebie people can take. Or freebies on social media is literally like if you post a picture of a recipe, like that's a freebie. Do you have like a video that you could put in your link tree and give people like that value? You really want, when people walk into your storefront, when they get their eyes on your page, you want them to instantly be hooked and say like, ooh, I feel good when I'm here. I love looking at this page. I love how I feel in this store. And then you also want to think about it being professional. So like if you had a store, you wouldn't have like your dirty laundry in the back corner. Like, yes, it's okay to post pictures with that stuff. I know Megan does it and I do it too, but like you also try to edit that photo to make it look a little bit more professional. And it's not like your dirty laundry is like the main part of your photo, like you blur out that stuff in the background. You can get apps to do that. You have like a consistent, cohesive color scheme. So think about it like your magazine spread. Like if your store was being photographed for a magazine and it was representing you, like you'd want to put your best foot forward out there. And that is like what the feed is all about. We're going to go dive into more like, stories and the other things that you can utilize in your social media platform. But like when it comes to your feed, like that is your magazine spread. You want to put your best foot forward. You want it to look cohesive and very professional and just good. Like when I want, just think about like some words right now of like when somebody comes to your page, what do you want them to feel? Like, what do you want them to see? If health is like your biggest passion, then maybe you want them to feel like really fresh and healthy when they come to your page. Or maybe you want them to feel like loved on because like self-love is your thing, So think about like what is that for you? What do you want your person to feel? So I'm going to let Megan take over now.
All right, I'm not that quick at muting and unmuting. So I want to preface kind of everything I'm about to say with I did not start, like when I first started coaching, I was not into social media. I did not know anything about it. I never posted on Instagram or Facebook really. I would maybe once every 2 months share a picture of like Ryan and I at the most recent wedding we went to or something like that. Or it was like a sunset picture. Like social media was not my thing. And I've actually truly enjoyed the process of learning about it through coaching and how powerful it can be and how there's just like so much you can do with it. It can be so much fun. And there's just like, yes, it is a magazine, but you also need to have fun with it. If you're not enjoying the posts that you're making, then make posts that you do enjoy, something that you would relate to. But your social media feed needs to be your journey on display and your entire journey, not just your fitness journey or not just your lifestyle journey. You want to tell a story. People want to say, hey, like, I'm going to keep coming back to this person's page because I want to see where they're going on this journey. I want to see where their story is taking them, and they want to see all parts of your story. So be you in it. And we're going to talk in a second on how many ways you can do this. But as much as you need your feed to be clear and professional, you also need it to be authentic to you. You need to speak to your story and your journey and sharing every single part of it. And so I know we shoot for, we would say like 3 to 5 posts a day, which seems like a lot, but one post could be something like, I don't know, I put coconut oil in my coffee today because my coach friend Leanna has been raving about this bulletproof coffee that I just can't figure out. The next post could be, all right, I checked in with my accountability group and I saw so-and-so like had this non-scale victory and it really inspired me to get my workout in today. So there's so much variety. And then you can share, like, I just posted a picture today of my scarf in my teacher outfit because I was freezing, and people can relate to that because schools are cold. So sharing parts of you that are, I just got Chipotle delivered, by the way. Sharing parts of your story that are related to Beachbody, but also making sure you're sharing the parts that aren't, because that's what people will relate to. And that's you. Like, if you go to your social media and you take away everything Beachbody, who are you to your followers? And if there is nothing there, then nobody's going to be able to relate to you because they're just going to see you as this like person who only works out all the time. And nobody I know only works out all the time because there's so much going on in your life that is bigger than Beachbody. And that's what people are going to connect with. But then they're going to watch you continue to show up, and eventually they're going to join you. And then the biggest thing that I think I've been working on personally, and Leanna does an awesome job at this in her posts, is telling stories. So here's where I was, here's where I am, and this part of my coaching experience has helped with that. So telling the story of where were you before coaching, how has this community transformed your life, and where are you now, and how are you better because of it? And that's huge because people want to see your journey. I mean, how many times a day or a week or whatever do you go to your Instagram and you watch a specific person's story to be like, what did they do today? Or, they were, shopping for dogs last weekend. Are they still shopping for dogs, or did they get a dog? Or, they want to know that story and they want to know what's going on. And so that's what we need to make sure that we are sharing, but still being clear and professional and valuing your storefront as your page. Journey on display, and sending it back to Leanna.
Awesome. Such good stuff. Okay. So that was like second thing. Third thing now is, so we've talked about, those are kind of like the overarching, like, core things about social media. It's like that visual thing, the storefront, the vibes that you want to put out there. And then what Megan said, your journey on display, what, who were you? And then who are you now? Talking about that, telling that story, being you, sharing everything beyond Beachbody, but also like the fitness and the health stuff. So with those two things, like, we need to have this constant balance of like, okay, if somebody came into my store would I like stay on my computer and like keep, you know, working on my little project or whatever? No, like I would lift up my head and I would say, hey girl, how are you doing? Where are you from? I just opened this new store. Like, I'm so glad you're here. Here's a cup of coffee. Like, you would like hold their hand, walk them through the store, tell them about, you know, something in your life to try to relate to them. Like, you would want to build a friendship and a relationship with them, not to necessarily like get them to buy something, but because, oh my gosh, somebody just walked into my store, like, and we want to love on people here with our businesses. But then eventually, you know, that's planting a seed, and down the road, maybe they're going to come back to your store and buy something. So like, that is the same thing that we're doing on social media. And so I want you to ask yourself the question of like, am I putting the work into making my storefront and my platform look really great? And am I also cultivating relationships? Like, am I doing the work on the back end? Or am I just like head down, nose into whatever my little project is and like creating this beautiful platform, but not creating relationships? Because you cannot build a business off of one or the other. Like, you have to have both there. And I think that's where a lot of coaches get stuck. Because sometimes people will be really good at the relational part and like cultivating those relationships and making friends. But then on the back end or the front end, they won't have the platform to display that they've got a boot camp going on, that they are going to a yoga class today. Like, nobody ever knows what they're doing or if they're ever consistent with a program, because they're just not showing up consistently. And so that's awesome that you're really good at building relationships and getting to know people. But if you're not showing that person that, like, on your stories, that you're working out every single day and that you're crushing your meal plan and that you just took your dog for a walk at the park, like, it's just, there's no connection there. Because once you get to that part of the relationship and that conversation where you're inviting them, they're going to be like, well, what group are you even talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, there's no like influencer kind of status on them because they don't even like see the results of that. So like on my stories, for example, I've been really, really trying a lot to share more about my client stories and their journeys, and even some of you guys, like my coaches, transformations and like your journeys, because I think it's a really good testament to like my business and the work that I get to do. And it also shows that I love that. And so I want every single time I'm talking to somebody, like I want them to also have the opportunity to like go and like check me out. And like Kelsey said, like creep on me and see that I'm the real deal. And I'm not just like making all this stuff up. And so you want to do the same thing. So make sure like reverse that both ways and just like give yourself a little check and say, am I like being really intentional and like building strong relationships and making sure to notice when new faces are coming to my page? And am I also like making it look good on the front end and showing up in my business and in my workouts and like telling my social media, or like kind of holding myself accountable with that stuff through my social media as well? Because I promise like it goes hand in hand and it will help you more the more that you're like trying to balance that out and do both of it. So I'm going to throw it back to Megan now.
So this is, I mean, we kind of numbered them. This is, I guess, tip number 4, is to utilize everything that Instagram has to offer for you. Use all of the tools constantly, consistently. And Instagram rewards you for doing that, because the more you engage with people, the more people are going to see your page and your posts and your stories and your feed. So you know, your storefront is your front page. So your pictures need to be clear, concise, professional-ish looking. You know, get what's a portrait mode. That's awesome. If you guys have one of the newer iPhones, like it's incredible. Or find a friend who has a relatively decent camera and just go out with them this weekend and get some pictures so you can have them in your stock of your camera roll, so that you have something to post when you have something to say. Then engaging with people. So in your captions, you are telling a story and asking questions, and then utilizing everything else there is. So stories throughout your day. What'd you do first thing when you woke up this morning? How were you feeling? Did you want to get your workout in? What are you drinking in the morning? Do you have coffee? Do you have tea? Do you have lemon water? Do you, what do you do in the morning? Why are you waking up? an hour before you have to be and getting on this video chat with these people who are all muted. Like, what is that? So sharing that with people. What do you do during your work day? So take them through, like, hey, I'm on my lunch break. There's donuts sitting in the break room, but hey, look, I have my prepped food ready to go. You can, talking on stories. I remember for the longest time when stories came out, I was like, this is just like Snapchat. This is Instagram wanting to be Snapchat. Like, I don't want to do anything with this. But then I saw how more real and authentic you can be with your stories. And there's so much less pressure on them because it's like, hey, this is just my day-to-day life and come along for the ride because this is me, wholeheartedly me. And then in your stories, you can use the poll option where people can say like, oh, I'm so ready to join or I'm not. Or you can ask a poll like, do you prefer apple spice or pumpkin spice? Something totally unrelated, but getting people interacting with you and engaging with you. There's that new question sticker where you can, ask people to ask you a question. You can say, hey, drop your email here. I'll send you more information. Or what's your favorite Netflix show? Like something that people can interact with you for, using everything Instagram has to offer, because somewhere in this algorithm that's mysterious is the more you engage with people, the more people there will be to engage with. Using live videos. Guys, live videos are huge for boosting your page. And I don't think I can say that enough. I think in the last week, I've maybe gained 50 to 100 followers since Sunday when I did a live video. Like, huge for your page. And I don't understand how or why, but using everything and engaging with the people in those live videos. And guys, I get it. I get that it's scary the first few times you do this, but if this business means something to you, you're going to have to just push past those fears, plain and simple. And having gone through that myself, I can say it gets so much easier the more you do it once you push past it. So tip number 4 is just using everything Instagram has to offer, the direct messages, the stories, your IGTV, questions, polls, hashtags, tagging locations in your stories, so many things. Like, and you can go to YouTube and find a 30-minute training on just like hashtags alone. So there's so much stuff there. So just really have fun with learning what works with your page and your followers, but utilizing everything they have to offer. Send it back over.
Did you say throw it back to me? Okay. Sorry, my internet was like really weird for a second there. And then the last thing I wanted to add on real quick is just think about like, go back to that customer client experience. So when Megan's talking about like utilizing all of these different features, like when that person walks into your store and they see one little area of your shop, that's your stories. It's like, the back room or something with like the places where you can try on clothes. I don't even know. Like, you can take the metaphor as far as you want. Sorry, Lola's being sassy. Or like when you're on your IGTV, maybe that's like the front of the store, but think about like, what do you want them to do with that? Like, if you have like an IGTV video, like, do you want them to like just get to know you better through that video? Or like, are you trying to like get them to join you on your Transform 20 new bootcamp group? Like, what is the goal of that? And then whatever it is, like, make it so easy for them to do that, like to do what you're trying to get them to do. So like, if you're just trying to build the relationship and like share a recipe or share like some kind of tip you have, maybe even with like putting on your makeup or like how to create a cute outfit for the day, like make it so streamlined and easy for them to like grab onto that content. Like post about, I just did this live video. Everybody go check out that live video. Or if you're posting a story hyping up your boot camp, like don't tell them you can go to the link in my bio, or you can fill out the form to join us, or you could just like email me, or you could DM me. Like, just give them one thing, like keep it simple, stupid, and like tell them to do that and like be confident in that. Because when you say that, like on my stories with a lot of words, if I'm like sharing some kind of inspirational quote or something, I say hold down to read or press to read. because a lot of people will just skip through that. But when you're confident and you say like, this is what you need to do, people will do that, because like we're a lazy society, right? Like when somebody will tell you something, you're like, oh, okay. Like, you know, if Carly on her story says like, swipe up to join this, like, I'm like, okay, swipe up. Like, that's so easy. So make sure to keep it like as simple as you possibly can for whatever the goal is, whatever your post is, so that they will, you know, do that. And it's really streamlined. And then I also just wanted to give you a little tip with stories. Something I learned from Chalene Johnson's podcast. She has a really good like business building podcast. I think it's called Build Your Tribe. But she talks about this like magical equation on stories for just like building your platform. And, you know, like it's how to have like good stories every single day. And so it's this acronym, I think is what it's called, but it's REDIC. So it's REDIC, and it stands for R, relatable. So this is like, you know, you want to post one thing every single day that's relatable. Like maybe your kid threw up all over you. Like that is hilarious. That is relatable for all moms out there. Maybe your dog threw up on you. Like that is relatable for me. And then E stands for, so it's REDIC. E stands for educate, entertain, or there was one other word, but it's kind of like, you know, sometimes I'll share a healthy like cooking hack. I'll be like, hey, like this makes your food taste really good and it's also really good for you. So like, you know, add this hot sauce to your dish or whatever. Or it could be something kind of like entertaining, like maybe you're putting your makeup on for the day and you're just like giving them like a little funny tip, but it's also a little educational and entertaining. Like what are you good at that you can share and help people with? The D stands for dialogue. So that goes back to that little like question box. Like you want to start a conversation with people. You could also use a poll, but I usually use like the question box. You know, another day this week, I was talking about the cruise. Like when you hit Success Club 12 months in a row, you get to go on like some Beachbody trip. And this year it's going to be a cruise. And I just got my invite to it. And I asked people as I was talking about it, because I wanted to get them involved, but I was like, they're not going to relate to like a cruise that I get to go on and they don't. So I said, tell me what's your fave vacay that you've been on? And now not like a ton of people participated, but I definitely had like 10 responses. And I think that's fun. Like it's getting people involved. It's creating a dialogue. And if I wanted to, I can use that little response and like repost it and kind of like keep that interaction going. And that's how you create like a community. And that's how you create, you're like practicing on people, you know, asking them questions. And then the more that they get used to that and doing that and engaging with you, the more they're going to want to like go and fill out the form on your bio when you ask them that question, right? And then the I stands for interact. So this is majority like through polls, but it could also be through that little sticker with the, I think it's like heart eyes, right? So sometimes, you know, I'll write stupid things on it like, how hot is my husband? Like swipe to the right. Or, you know, how cute is my dog or something. Like you want to just do funny things to get people to interact, or how cute are these shoes or something. And then the C stands for capture or captivate. So this one, she says you want to do it every single day. And I say it's kind of hard to do this every day, but if you can, like you're a boss babe. So I try to do it every day, but it's like capturing their email. So maybe you have some kind of freebie you can give away to people. Maybe not, like maybe you just are like, I know Carly just started posting about how there's a team-wide live workout. We're all going to do this workout on Saturday. And so maybe a way you could get people involved is ask that little question box and say, hey, who wants to join my live workout on Saturday? It's free. Put your email below. So that's a way to capture or like captivate their attention. You're capturing something from them to where you can stay in contact. Like you can either get their email or their name, or you could also just ask for them to like drop a heart or an emoji or something, and then you can respond to those. But I like to do emails because then it's like they know moving forward that I'm going to email them, or I probably will email them, so they're not like freaked out by getting a random message from me. But that's like the little fun story equation, and I love it. I live by it. Like literally I put it on my checklist every single day, and I put stars by the letters that I've done for the day. So you can see like I'm really good at the interact one. I'm really good at the R, really bad at the C, but I'm getting better. But then the last thing we wanted to walk you guys through, which I think is just kind of fun. So everybody pull out your phone and go to Instagram. And we're just going to give you guys a few like examples of accounts that you can see these things actually like coming to life. So if you guys have your phone out, first we're going to go to Victoria Phillips. She's a coach on Team Reach Your Eyes. She's incredible. She just hosted the Team Fight to Finish call 2 weeks ago, maybe Monday. But if you're looking at her right now, I'm just going to keep talking because our call has like 10 minutes left. But I think she's a really, really good example of like number one. Like she makes this her storefront, and then it's like recently she's like used a preset and it's very cohesive. She has like very similar little story highlight pictures on all of them. She has the Step It Up thing for December 20 as like, ooh, that's like eye grabbing. It's attention grabbing. It's like if somebody put out a sale sign in their store. I love that. And so I think she does this really well. It makes me feel welcome. She's homey. She's woodsy. She's like very Pacific Northwest, like nature girl. And then let's look up Gina Funaro. Now I think her name is Gina Irazo, but it's Gina Funaro, Ginafunaro. So Gina's a fitness girl. Like she was a personal trainer. She's super into fitness. And like, if you look at her social media, you can see that. You can see she's got like a new dog. So I think personally, she's a really good representation of like putting your journey on display, because if you start reading through some of her posts, you can always tell, like she will talk about where she came from and like where she is now. Another really good person of that example is, Kate Schultz. She was a teacher as well. Her name is Katescholtes, I think. But she was a teacher, and she does a really good job of like telling her story in like such a powerful way where you like read her posts and it's like emotional. Like I almost want to cry sometimes when I'm reading her posts. But she does it in like a professional way, in a clear way. Like it's her magazine, but it's also her story. Like it captivates you. So then another person, just to give you like one more example, I really love this girl named Boho Fit Girl. It's Boho_fit_girl. So this is Meredith Gnaw. I don't even know how to say it, but she is one of Amy Silverman's top coaches, and she used to be a yoga teacher and a health coach, like apart from Beachbody. Like she had her own practice. And what I love about her is like just the fact that she shares how she's passionate about health. So I feel like this is a really good example of like, are you sharing the things that you're more passionate about than just Beachbody? Or are you sharing like just Beachbody? Because she is passionate about health, but she does this thing where she's sharing not only about like Beachbody and like that business side of things, but she's also sharing like her passion of health and like that she's building this business. And she talks, like there's a lot of plants, there's a lot of like food. She loves cooking, like recipes. And so I think it's cool because you can be passionate about health, but not necessarily be always posting about like Beachbody health, like that kind of thing. So there's just so many different ways to go about social media. And you can see like from all these platforms, everybody does it differently, but all these people I think are really like doing it in a super successful manner. And it's just like a testament to that, like, why not you? Like, why can't you share your story like this, but in your own way that's professional, and it's like a magazine, and it's something to where you're going to create an audience and a group of people that's like your tribe and that you can engage with. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. We have like 5 more minutes. If you guys have any other questions, I know that was a lot of info.
I'm going to wrap it up with one last thing. If you guys have questions, just either post them in the chat. We'll get to them in a second. But take what we're sharing with you guys today and implement it now. And then implement it again tomorrow. So showing up on your feed, in your stories, interacting with people, engaging with people today. and tomorrow, and sending messages and sending invites, and do it again on Friday and do it again on Saturday, because none of this matters if you take this call, make one post today, and never come back to this information. And then give yourself the time for this compound effect to start being implemented in your business. Show people every single day that you're showing up in your fitness journey, your health journey, your coaching journey. Invite people every single day. Keep doing that to build the trust in you. Let them build the trust in you that you are successful and that you can help them be successful, because you're pushing past your excuses. So when they are ready to join, they trust that they can come to you, and you'll be the one to help them get these results that they need. You have to show up every single day all across your page and your journey. But we're going to get cut off in 4 minutes. Do you guys have any questions on anything? You can either unmute yourself or, I don't know, share in the chat.
Another thing I like to think about, I don't know, Megan, if you remember at Summit, Amy Silverman did a live training, and she talked about it wasn't fake it till you make it. It was some other word that rhymes with fake it. Faith it. That's it. Yeah, like if you guys are, you think this is awesome, but you're like, I don't want to implement this because I'm afraid, or I don't want to share this part of my journey because I'm afraid, or like I don't see myself as this like influencer person, and so I'm afraid, because that was me in the beginning. Like, just faith it till you make it. Like, find your person, find someone else that you connect with and you resonate with on, social media. Maybe it's a big blogger, maybe it's a Beachbody coach, and then say like, I want to be like her, but like a me version, and I'm going to faith it till I make it, because that's like literally how you make it happen. You just do it. And so find it within you. You guys like are all incredible, and we believe so much in you guys, and that's why we pour into you. So just do it. Like Megan's saying, like, take action.
Nike didn't come up with that famous slogan because it doesn't work.
Yeah. I like that so much better than fake it, though, because like I'm like, fake it sounds like fake, and I don't want to be fake. Yeah, REDIC stands for R, relatable, E, educate or like entertain, could also be like an inspirational kind of thing. D stands for dialogue, I is interact, and then C is capture or like captivate. This will also be recorded, so you can go back or listen to Shalene Johnson's podcast. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. And a side note, the MFCEO podcast from last week's Thursday was real good if you're a fan of Tough Love, because he lays it out there. And
About social media?
No, totally unrelated, but talking about podcasts. And I listened to it on my drive home from work today, and I was like, oh my, like, so tough love, but I thrived off of it. And I just love that stuff. So check it out if you guys want to.
Oh, so good. Well, thanks, guys. Have a good night. Take a selfie or picture of all of us.
Oh, yeah.
I already got one.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll share the recording as soon as I get it uploaded, probably tomorrow.
Yay. Bye. Love you all.
Guys.